Welcome back everyone to our gameplay series of Bus Simulator 21, and I am so happy to be back with you guys in Bus Simulator. Thankfully I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Still not back to 100% for sure, but I'm starting to feel a little better, and I'm glad that I can get back into Bus Sim a little bit. And if you take a look in the top right hand corner, let's talk about where we go next. So we started in our last couple of videos, we started dealing with Gold Island a little bit. We've created some routes, we've driven that route a little bit. But in the top right hand corner you can see the next steps we need to take: raise Gold Island's level to level 3. And that's very simple. That simply means driving our route. The more we service those particular bus stops, the better chance we have of upgrading that. And generally it takes 2 to 3 times of servicing a bus stop before it reaches the next level. So it shouldn't take all that many times to do that. So no problem there. We also need to connect Gold Island and West Oakwood with at least one balanced route. Now we'll come back to that actually in our next video, because today what I want to start out with, as you can see, one of our wonderful buses pulling up here. Absolutely love the look of those Mercedes-Benz buses, even when we plaster it with maybe an oddly fitting advertisement. But the very last thing at the bottom there is drive a route that peaks at morning, and I believe that says in evening. Let's actually hop into the map. Yeah, there we go. Drive a route that peaks at morning and evening with a CNG bus. Now you notice that's already marked out, and the reason it's marked out is because by default our Gold Island route does that. So if we hop in and take a look at our Gold Island route, okay, I had originally thought maybe I'm going to need to make a few adjustments to the Gold Island route because it's fairly long. It's got a lot of stops on it, and I would really like to adjust it a little bit. But as it turns out, it's perfect for what we need to do in the game. So let's go ahead and click on, first things first, let's actually go under the buses here, because I have added a new bus. So now we have 2 full-time buses on this route, so that increases the amount of money that we can make. You can see there's still room for another full-time, which I'm probably not going to add on there. Who knows? We'll have to see, but it's not my top priority right now. And then we have, there's our morning and evening time. So basically everybody headed to work and then leaving work is where you're really getting your main peaks there. So we've got room for a couple more of those, but if we come back out and go under the edit function, all right, so what we spend most of our time is under the demand. That's where we see our purple, and we'll call that what, light green, light blue, however you want to describe that, trying to balance these out so that our supply and demand and everything is all balanced. That's where we spend our time, or at least I do. But then you get under the third tab, and that's your peak time. Okay, and it turns out we balance this exactly perfect for the way that the game wanted. That was not intentional, because as I've mentioned before, I don't really care about the peak times so much. I really only worry about the demand long term, and then we deal with this peak time stuff whenever the game sort of forces us into it. But it turned out absolutely perfect, so that's why you see this one is already crossed off. I didn't change a thing. But if we come back up, now we need to have one bus with a Gold Island ad. So I think what we're going to do, let's see if we can get by with this. Will it let me by with this is the question. So let's go ahead and change a bus. Now we want to change the Iveco, the Urban Way buses. We got 2 of those. Let's go ahead and accept that. And I'm going to go ahead and customize that for advertisement. Now you can see now we've got a new ad on here. And if we try to get on here, and let's see, where are we on this thing? Where did that go? There it is, Gold Island. I was trying to find the actual advertisement. You can see it there on the back. The lighting is kind of skewing it a little bit. There you go. And then a little bit in the corners. It shows up much better here on the top left, on the left side of the bus. But that is what we're looking for. It wants us to put that on at least 1. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And it'll cost $1,000, but I'm fine with that. And let's go ahead and change our bus. Okay, now we want the second bus. And I think it's only appropriate that the bus is going to Gold Island have the Gold Island ad on them. That makes the most sense to me. And yeah, okay, maybe not the design I would have gone with the Gold Island ad, but it works. Okay, so now we can back out of that. All right, so now you can see in the top right-hand corner, all we have left is to raise Gold Island's level to a level 3. So if we hop back in here, let's see, where are our buses? Okay, we've got one guy here. I've actually been driving around a little bit here. We need to get to level 3, and we're at a level 1, but as I click around on these a little bit, you can see this one's at a level 1. The next time we service it, it'll go to a level 2, but then we got level 2, level 2. This one's still a level 1, same thing here. Next time we service it, it'll move up, and then we're level 2 here as well. So other than these two, we are in very good shape. So actually, what I want to do is let's go back to our routes, because I really want to drive this route again so that we can start the process of upgrading. And this thing is driving me nuts as it moves this stuff around the screen. All right, so let's go ahead and go drive now, and we're just gonna have to guess here, I guess, at which one of these we want. Let's go ahead and let's just do the first one. Let's go ahead and accept that. So we'll hop on board the bus, and no, we don't want that one, because he's already in Gold Island. Yeah, he's the one that was already there. So I'm actually going to hop out. Let's go back to drive now and go to that second bus, and we'll hop aboard that one. No doubt an easier way of doing this, but for right now, that worked exactly as we needed to. Okay, so here we are right now. So we've got, what, a couple more stops before we actually make it back into Gold Island. All right, so there you can see, here we come. And how many stops do we have exactly? Let's go back to demand instead of that peak time. So we're headed to stops 4 and 5, and then we're back to Gold Island. So what we're going to do is actually something that if you haven't tried, I highly recommend it. And that is just simply hop on board one of your routes, one of your buses, and enjoy the ride. So we're going to do this for the next couple of stops. And then once we do that, we will hop back into the driver's seat and we will continue on from there. But this can be a very interesting way of seeing just how the AI function when you're not driving the bus. Also, it gives us an opportunity to point out, you see here the graphical glitch at the crosswalk. It appears to be an LOD issue, a level of detail issue, because they all seem to appear very much okay until we get very close to them. So when it's swapping LODs as we get closer, seems to be the issue. So keep that in mind, because we're going to see that a lot, because obviously there are a lot of crosswalks around the city. So for now, I'm going to get our camera off of that so we don't have to see it quite as much. But you can see here ahead, this one looks perfectly fine. And it will right up until we get close to it. And those LODs swap. So not sure when that was introduced into the game. Maybe there was a small bug fix or update or something that I missed for the game. But hopefully that will be taken care of fairly soon, and we won't have to deal with that long term. But for right now, you can see we're stuck behind one of our other buses. We're making quite a bit of money now. I mean, we're up around 140 grand. By the way, look at this. What kind of a walk do you call that? We got to get up here and see this. I mean, that's when you put some hip into it. I mean, we're used to seeing this and slower for the older NPCs in the game, in the passengers. But this, I mean, you're going to throw a hip out. You keep walking around like that. That is, I'm so happy to see that, because quite frankly, I was getting a little tired of seeing, especially some of the really slow elderly. There you go, like that. Yeah, I was getting a little bit tired of seeing that all the time. But yeah, now we got a little bit of hip action. And that there's, say hi to one of our other buses. Okay, awesome. So whoop, there you go. There you see that graphical issue again. So if I hop back out, where are we on the map? We are at, or coming up to our final stop. So that's probably where I'm going to take over. And we are going to attempt to do a clean run through. Now, bringing you back to our goals. So we know we got to raise Golden Island to a level 3. So we'll get it to a level 2 probably this time by, since we've only got the couple of stops that are not already level 2. But beyond that, when we get to level 3, well, I'm probably going to save that until next time, when we need to create that new route, balance it up, and then we'll use that route to get us finally to that level 3. All right, so it looks like we are at that final stop. I'm going to go ahead and take over the bus. Thank you very much, ma'am. They're always so excited when I take over the bus. They're like, man, thank you. Give me a break. So I assume they're going to the back of the bus to sleep. And that's fine. We'll take over from here. Now, in addition to the graphical glitch that we've noticed with the crosswalks, I have also noticed that a little bit more glitchiness, I will say, with the controls for things like the doors and the ramp and so forth, which is a little bit odd because I haven't noticed this before. Again, I'm not sure if I missed something as far as a bug fix or an update to the game. All right, let's go ahead and get out. I'm not going to use the signal this time because it didn't like it last time I used the signal to use the ramp. So what I'm going to try to do today is, rather than, normally I would simply move down the cursor and click on the buttons as my preferred method of opening the doors and the ramps and all that, we're going to try for at least the doors, we're going to try using the keys on the keyboard. And for me, these map out 1, 2, and 3 on the keyboard. So there you go again. You don't like it when I use the indicator when I'm using the on or off ramp. And in real life, that is definitely something you would want to do. You would want to let people know that you're getting on or off. But anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Key number 1 on the keyboard corresponds to door number 1, which would be the door right next to me. So it would be the one right there. All right, so let's go ahead and let these guys through the crosswalk. Ooh. Come on, fella. Let's go. You can move. Oh, we got traffic coming on our left. And, oh. Okay, that was a bit much. I was fearing for this guy's life. Because, by all rights, he should have been taken out right there. Alright, let's see. Let me pull up. I got to pull up a little bit forward than I want to. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm on 2 and 3. Bus stop's ready for an upgrade. See if I can get the ramp out. Yeah, there we go. I'm far enough forward to get the ramp out. Not that we necessarily needed it. Okay, so let's go ahead, come in under the map. And we're going to upgrade that one. So, okay, not too bad. So we're level 2 on all of them, I believe, but this one, right? Yeah, so we'll get to that one here shortly. Let's go ahead, close the doors. And I have no idea what the ramp is. What is the ramp? Let's get our keys back up here. G for the ramp. All right, you got it. See if I can remember that. But look at this traffic. Look how aggressive they are. That guy just came by us and he was flying. Alright, let's make this tight corner here. Definitely not my strong suit. We've got rock here on the right. Please, guys, give me a little room. It would be very much appreciated. As we try not to damage the bus, the passengers, the park, all the usual. Alright, so far so good. Got a 90-degree corner coming up here. And again, these guys stop here, coming from the other direction, and I have no idea why. There is no reason to stop there. Alright, so now we're coming up to where we need to cross over, and here's where I'm just going to have to make a decision about when we're going to go and just take off. Alright, let's see if we can get through here without hitting anyone or anyone hitting us. Alright, it liked my use of the indicator that time. Thank you very much. Alright, don't see anybody coming that way. Hopefully nobody speeds through. That's kind of the life of a bus driver in this game, unless you just want to be ultra cautious and do one of the wiggle moves and look both ways again. then you're going to have some issues with the traffic in this game. And somebody is coming through here and they're destroying these cones. And it is not me. I am happy to say that is not me. I am leaving these cones alone to the best of my ability. Alright, ready for this. Okay, I see this lady trying to come across, but I noticed our stop was blinking. And let's go ahead and hit G, put that ramp out, and there we go. Let's go ahead and upgrade. And you notice, now we move to level 2. That's what I'm talking about right there. We're a little bit behind schedule, about 40 seconds behind schedule now. So let's go ahead and try to catch up a little bit, try to pull the ramp in, close the doors. You notice I'm still not using this door right next to me. It's more habit than anything right now. So we're going to finish out this route today. So we've already done exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to get Gold Island up to a level 2. Show you guys that we had purchased a new bus for our Gold Island route. And here's our traffic jam at the most... this is just an inappropriate place. There's no reason to stop here unless there's something about this cabin on the right that I don't know. Is there perhaps a ghost in the top window looking out at us? Is there a guy with a shotgun that we need to see? Deer? What do we got? Something. I'm not seeing anything going on here. No wildlife, no crazy people with weapons. Alright, because if you're going to stop, you'd want to stop back here, right up here somewhere. Alright, we're going to come across. Please don't hit us. Please. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, here we go. Now let's pull on around. So now we're going to finish out the route until we get paid. That's the goal here. Because obviously we're going to need to get paid, because if we're going to do a new route when we come back together next time, then we're going to need a bus for that route. And probably want to get a CNG bus again. This is another crazy place for traffic. These guys are pulling all the way off and then stopping. Okay, they didn't do it this time, so we're in good shape here. But keep in mind, with these bus stops, they only register when we are driving the bus actively, not when the AI. So our AI bus drivers are of no help in leveling up. I'm sorry, my man, but I'm going to go ahead and get by before you slowly walk across. All right, let's pull up a little bit farther. Thank you for the helpful message, letting us know that servicing bus stops will allow them to gain experience points and upgrade it. How about that? All right, anybody else on or off? Doesn't look like it. We are once again a little bit behind. So let's try to speed up a little bit so we don't get too many warning messages about the fact that we are running behind schedule.
She can't read.
Because we are definitely behind schedule.
So she just invented some story from the pictures. It was so...
All right, so 15 seconds to get to our next stop, which actually isn't that bad. All right, what just happened? Oh, I left the blinker on. Oh, I'm that guy. I'm that guy a lot in this game. It happens a lot.
From my home to the planetarium all the time.
Okay, so we're here basically on time. I like it. I mean, we're a touch behind. Oh, there goes those graphical issues again. Good stopping position. Okay, it's hard for me to tell because every time I feel like we're in the perfect spot within that box, we can't put the ramp out because we're right next to the post that shows the scheduling on it. Alright, so I don't see anybody else going on or off. We're about 30 seconds behind. And of course, just as I'm thinking about taking off. Oh yeah, everybody, come on by. Anybody else? Anybody else want to come around? Anybody? Okay, we're going.
My daughter's always
before anybody else
telling me
decides.
about all directions.
Okay, let me turn off the indicator.
I think I should give them a try.
So no more blinker. Alright, so we are headed to the weirdest stop on this journey, which is the actual tourist center. And it's just because of how awkward its location is. and getting to it, access to it, is just a little bit weird. Alright, please don't hit us. I'm not even going to look. Alright, so I notice our stop is actually... I assume that's the LOD, just like... Yeah, the crosswalk itself. Oh, we're ready for an upgrade here. Alright, let's go see what that is about. Oh, we're ready for level 3 here. Oh, that's nice.
Always look at me strange.
That's nice. This is going to come in handy because we need all of these room for more connected routes. Because we want this place... This park deserves some visitors. And we're going to try to get them there as best we can. Alright, so you notice in the bottom right-hand corner, NPCs will handle this route at 82.5% efficiency. Okay, that's pretty good. So the better we do, the better NPCs do. So it's not a bad idea to drive your routes every once in a while and try your best to be on time and do all the things that you know you need to do as a bus driver. Does that guy have a mask on? No, it's a beard. I thought he had a mask on.
Darn it. I forgot to lock the front door.
Okay, can we go now? We can. Alright, no traffic is going to run over us, I don't think. Oh my. What's happening? Oh no. Did you hit us?
I hope our next business deal
I
goes
promise.
better than the last one.
I promise that wasn't me. It may have been. Okay, but I don't think we hit anything. I didn't get any messages that says, oh, by the way, you just ran over something or got ran over.
I really should do more exercise.
Alright, so now we need to get back on the freeway. Again, hopefully without hitting anything or anybody. Okay, now we're back. Headed our way back toward the city.
I'll never go to that farm outside town again. I was chased by a goose who honked at me menacingly. It was the scariest thing of my life.
Woman been chased by a goose. She is going to have PTSD from that goose. Oh, look in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see it's fussing at me about our speed. I actually thought we took care of that in the options. Did we not? But maybe this wasn't something related. Ooh, this is tight. Tight. Ooh, swing it without hitting anything, please, please, please. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to make it. I think. Just waiting for it to open up. Let the turn open up, please. Now, how am I supposed to make it through here in one of the bendy buses? The articulating buses. How am I supposed to do that? And the correct answer is, I won't.
Can't wait
I'll hit
for
it.
the weekend.
Alright, so now we need to merge. I don't see any traffic coming. Use my signal. There we go. Whew, okay. That's a little tense. Certainly more tense than I wanted it to be. We don't need to be hitting anything. And we don't need any fines. We need to keep all of our money. We're trying to ignore these LODs as we cross by. Yep, trying to ignore that. Alright, coming up on our next stop, which just so happens to be, isn't this stop number 1 on the route? I believe that's right. Yeah, number 1. You can see it out there on the GPS. So we are now at level 2 on Gold Island. And there's one more thing I did want to talk a little bit about today.
That's what I call.
Oh, we're upgrading again. I will take... Oh, there we go. Let's get some money first. How much money we get this time? Okay, right at 140 grand. We'll take it. Not quite enough to buy a new CNG bus, but we'll take it. So we're getting lots of advertising income. We've got our routes that are all doing quite nicely. And yeah, okay, I like it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to get up. We're going to hop out. And I'm going to hold down the C button and we're going to leave this route. And what that's going to do is it's going to trigger the NPC, an NPC to come in and be the new driver of this bus. Now that we've gotten paid, we're going to let the bus driver do his thing and get out of his seat. But we want to hop back into the map because we got an upgrade here. So let's go to level 4 on this one. And the last thing I wanted to talk about today is Oakwood. Because you notice that Here recently, we spent some time upgrading the different areas. Highlander Park, we've been dealing a little bit with Oakwood, St. Anthony, and West Oakwood. But you notice that Oakwood, I mean, overall, Lakeside View, we know why it's still a level 1. Okay, there's nothing here for us right now. So we can't really do much for it. But Oakwood, you notice, man, it's got a lot of stops in here. And so why don't we use some of those in our routes, get it leveled up? Well, here's why. Not that it's something we cannot do, but if we try to create a route, for example, let's go to routes and let's do create a route. All right, so we want to create a new route, and let me get out of this for a second. There we go. All right, so if we take a look in here, all but one of these stops are in the purple. So it makes it very hard to balance these routes. Now, granted, you can certainly do it by simply getting these, whatever we're going to call these, light green, light blue. But it makes it very hard to balance these out. Now, obviously, we're using this one. This particular stop, we're using, I believe this one, yeah, this one as well. So we're using a few of these, but not enough that it would really level it up. So one of the things I want to do in the short term is to try to get this to a level 2. Not that it's a game goal that it has for us, but I want to try to create a route that makes sense, even if it's just temporary, to try to get this upgraded to a level 2 just for my own personal satisfaction. It's something I've really wanted to do for a little while, but we've gotten caught up in particularly the Gold Island upgrades. But there is why we're having more trouble there. Here in some of these other areas, you can see it's got a nice balance that makes it much easier for you to create routes here. You know, 2 of the light green, 3 of the purple, 4 of the purple there, but you got a couple of the light green. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to create some sort of a route that's both balanced and makes sense for us to have it on the schedule, and then we'll assign some buses and hopefully get that area up to a level 2. But that's something that I'll be addressing off camera, and I'll see if I can come up with something that makes at least a little bit of sense long term. If not, I'll simply come up with a temporary route that I can drive enough times to get us that upgrade, and then we'll go back to our regularly scheduled program. So one more thing while I see it on the screen here. This is something, I can't remember if we've talked about this before, but you have these that pop up on the screen. So anytime you see this exclamation point above any of the stops, in this case I only see one right over here. If you will actually mouse over the stop itself, you can see that there's a request to deliver 25 passengers to the North Mall bus stop. And if you do, you'll get a reward for, in this case, a color that you can put on the van. Sometimes it's various decals and paint schemes, whatever the case may be. But always keep an eye out for those, just in case you're looking to spend a little extra time in the game without necessarily working on one of the active goals that the game has in mind. Just keep those in mind. It can be something fun to try to follow along with these. You can see this one is about to expire. Let's see where the next one actually pops up. There it is. Down there, it wants us to pick up 10 passengers there, and it's going to give us a special decal for that. So again, just something else, a little fun that the developers have thrown in there to make the gameplay a little bit more engaging. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and stick around for more Bus Simulator 21.